Joining me here once again at a Super Bowl 2 years in a row now. It's kind of like a tradition unlike any other. It's kind of like the Masters a little bit. From the Carolina Panthers, courtesy of our friends at Old Spice right here on the Rich Eisen Show, one of the best running backs in the business, Christian McCaffrey. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. How's life?
It's good.
It's
going well, yeah. A little calm right before you get back to training. So
right.
It's going well.
Are you the last Carolina Panther standing? Is that right? That's what it seems
know,
like right
man.
now.
It's been a weird year.
Right.
And it's always a bummer. It's the sad reality of the league. Guys come and go, but
right.
It does feel like I've lost a few of my brothers along the way, but I'm happy for everying moving on, and I'm sure they'll be good.
Did you see Kuechly's decision coming? Or
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I didn't. But I think at the end of the day, what I'm so excited for him for is he went out on his own terms, which is more than most people can say. Made a decision that was best for himself, and I was honored I got to play with him for 3 years. Obviously, selfishly, I wish I could have played with him my whole career.
Sure.
But I mean, what a standout human being, standout athlete, one of the best to ever do it, and the way he did it, it's pretty cool that I was able to witness that every day.
Yeah, and I thought it was really neat that the Panthers put the basically raw video of his statement up. Like, it wasn't edited. It was him out there getting emotional, and doing his thing. I love that guy. I got a chance to meet him a couple times, and I know exactly how you feel about him.
Yeah, and knowing Luke, I mean, he probably said, hey, look, I'll announce it. You just film me, and we'll post it, and then he probably went hunting somewhere and left, and that's just who he is. So that's kind of just a good testament of the kind of guy he is. Simple guy, doesn't need a whole lot, but plays and trains and practiced 100% all the time.
Christian McCaffrey here on the Rich Eisen Show, and now Matt Rule is your coach, your head coach, and he just jumped through the television screen at his press conference. I mean, that was something. What's your conversations been like with him so far?
They're so busy trying to figure out, the staff, and I try not to bug them too much.
But you have connected with him, right?
Have connected. Yep, talked to him a few times now, and it's exciting because you can tell that he's fired up, and obviously anyone would be, but there's a really good energy in the building, and I think. I'm excited for our team. We got a lot of great young guys who are hungry. We got a lot of good mix between young guys and veteran leadership. So I think we got the right guys for him to step into, and we're excited to work for him.
Who's handing you the ball next year, do you think?
I have no idea. I wish I had those answers now.
Right.
I don't know. I just try to stay in my lane, and the guys that I know are going to be with us, try to take them along, and learn from everybody. We got so many guys on the team who are leaders now. Guys like DJ Moore, who's going into his third year, who, is going to step up as a leader. Guys like Curtis Samuel, who's going to step into a leadership position. And, for me, it's taking that and working with everybody and doing whatever we can to win games.
So, Cam, are you in connection with him?
Yep, had dinner with him last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
What did he order? What did he order? What did you have?
What did he order?
Yeah.
This is a true story.
Okay.
We're at Prime 112.
Love it, Miles.
Very good restaurant. I've never been before. It's a great restaurant. Fancy. It was a who's who. Everybody's there.
I've been twice already this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is no joke. People are ordering wine and nice steaks and all. He asked the waiter. He said, do you guys have a vegan grilled cheese? And we're all like, did he just order a grilled cheese? A grown man ordering a grilled cheese at a steakhouse?
Yeah.
And he got his grilled cheese, vegan grilled cheese, and he enjoyed it. And we had a great dinner. But
a vegan? Wow. What is a vegan?
I don't know.
Cheese?
I don't know. I don't have any answers past that. But that's who he is, man. He's the best guy in the world. He's somebody that there's no one in the world like him. And heck of a leader, heck of a teammate. He's a guy who. As a player, watching him in practice, watching him in the games, there's not a lot of quarterbacks who dive over piles, fight for every yard, throw out blocks the way he does, and completely sacrifices his body for the team. And unfortunately, he's dealt with some injuries in the last couple of years. But it's a lot of fun playing with him. I'm lucky to have him as a teammate.
I got to be honest with you, Christian. Asking you what did he order last night is a weird question, but I feel like I've been rewarded by your answer.
That was a heck of a question.
I didn't know how I was going to be responding, but I'm very proud of myself right now.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey here on the Rich Eisen Show. Oh, yeah, thank you. That's an applause line. I appreciate that. So, speaking of staying in your lane was not supposed to be between the tackles as a professional football player.
Right.
What do you think you have proven so far, Christian?
I don't know. I used to be a little bitter about what people would say about me coming out of college and if I could play or not. And I've kind of pushed that to the side. I have a new attitude about everything, and I realize that everybody in the league has had somebody doubt them at some point. So I try to focus on myself and good or bad, stay pretty poised and go from there.
Well, I remember when you were coming out, and my buddy on the air and my buddy in life, Marshall Faulk, would scoff at the notion that you, Christian McCaffrey, would not be able to run between the tackles, that you would be more of an elite sort of weapon in the NFL that can come in every now and then and gain the edge and run. He was basically like, that's nonsense. And he said this week that you are, quote unquote, a better version of him. He's a better version of me, is what he said. What did you hear him say that?
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a huge honor. Huge honor. It's a guy I watched. I've seen every clip of his. Obviously, somebody who was in the 1,000 category as well. And so for me, hearing that from a guy like that is a big honor. I don't, he did. One thing that I respect, and I heard this, from a lot of different players in the league, is it's really good when you have one or two really good years, but the greats do it over their entire career. And when you talk about Marshall Faulk, I got a lot of work to do as far as that. I'm going into year 4. That's an unbelievable honor that he even mentioned that. But I'm excited to try to continue to do it and do it throughout my entire career.
Yeah, he did it. It took him 6 years to do it. Roger Craig did it. And now you're the only other 1,000 person in the NFL and NFL history. I do want to ask you about this because I thought this was really neat. Did you give a couple tickets to the Super Bowl to a Marine? Did you do that?
Yeah. So I work a lot with the military, and every year we do it where I give away tickets, and last few years I've done it with veterans, and this is actually the first year we gave away tickets to an active duty military member. So Sergeant Major Leyva and his brother Jorge was really cool. I'm gonna get to meet him later, but anytime I'm able to do stuff with the military, I jump right to it. I have a huge heart for our veterans and our active duty military members, so that'll be a fun little deal that I'm excited for.
That's so awesome. So okay, so you're now waiting to see what Matt Rule's playbook is, clearly, because you're in that period where you're not allowed to just dive in. Is that the case right now, or do you got an idea?
Yeah, I've talked to Coach Rule, I've talked to Coach Brady. And we're not at the playbook stuff yet. I'm itching to get it, but I think that'll be in future talks.
Yeah, Coach Brady, we've got Joe Burrow coming on later on. I mean, what he was part of with Burrow this year at LSU is just absolutely insane.
It was impressive to watch.
So did you see, is that we can assume some of the same concepts that's coming your way?
I think the coolest thing to watch is, there's not one, this is our scheme. It's a constant change of what they're doing based on what the defense is doing, based on who they have on the field, and it's a consistent effort, I guess, to put the ball in your best guys' hands and allow them to do what they do.
Okay, so you brought this bag with you. Let me take a look in here. Is this part of the Old Spice?
Absolutely.
What you got on?
Yeah, they just dropped their Ultra Smooth line, and
okay.
It's now being sold at Walgreens. They have it in a deodorant. They have it in a body wash.
Okay.
And it's about smelling fresh, man. I mean, you look great. You can dress well, but you got to smell fresh too. So.
Are you talking about me specifically, or people in general?
No, you specifically.
Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just you.
Because there were two in the bag, 2 Ultra Smooths in the bag. You brought a third. Is that a sign for me, or did you bring for my friends?
I brought
over
a third for a crew member. I know these guys work hard. I'm sure there's some sweaty days.
Okay.
So they're going to need it.
Well, we have a lot of Ultra Smooth individuals on the Rich Eisen Show staff.
That's right.
But the name of the show is me.
Yeah.
And there is an I in Rich and Eisen. So
Yeah.
I might
can have
to
all
keep,
three.
You sure?
All three is yours.
There is an
yours.
I in anti and perspirant as well.
There you go.
I just noticed that.
Wow.
I just noticed that.
So I wrote that down.
You know what? Take it.
Yeah.
Just take
Old
it.
Spice needs to hire you.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was impressive.
Thank you very much, Christian. I appreciate that. Well, they're all standing by here. They're
Yeah.
all talking with one another.
Yeah.
Your people will speak to my people
Yeah.
by the end of this day. I think I'm going to turn to my right or left at some point and have Greg Olson looking at me in a booth. What do you think? That guy's ready for
Tell
that.
you what, that's another guy. I mean, you talk about Luke Kuechly and you talk about guys like Greg Olson, and I mean, he was, the Panthers made jokes about, he's my, father because blonde hair, blue eyes, older guy, and, I'm smaller than him. So any picture we took together was like, you guys look like father, son. But he's somebody who it's hard to put into words what he brought to the table, on and off the field, and what he's done in the community, what he's done for the city, and hearing his story with him, his wife, and his son TJ, who had struggled with heart issues as a young kid, and what he's done with that.
With that, yes, foundation.
Yeah, and I love talking about stuff off the field because it's the stuff that people don't always know about. Obviously, he's a heck of a player. Had 1,000 yards receiving 3 years in a row. But he's such a great guy, and another guy that I'm gonna miss. It's sad. I'm like, how many goodbyes can I say in 1 month?
That's right. It's been a lot.
It's been a lot, but I'm gonna miss him a lot too.
Well, in a way, it might just be your team. Like it's your job to get in there and say this is the locker room, and I know that there's a new coach here, and they might look to you. Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think the interesting part when you struggle for a couple years in a row, I think it's a clean slate. There is nobody who's exempt of being a leader. I don't, in my opinion, I don't care if you're a rookie or you're a 10-year guy. I think everyone's at the same level. I think when you've won a Super Bowl or you've won Super Bowls and your team's winning 11 games a year, then you have your set standard leaders. But when you win 5 games, we need everybody to be a leader, and I think that's we have the right guys to do that.
Well, it's good to have you here. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be a colleague of Greg Olson's just yet. I think he still wants to play some more football, which would be great for everybody. But it's great to have you here. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Yes, it's Christian McCaffrey at CMC_22 on Twitter and at Christian McCaffrey on Instagram. And you can get new Old Spice Ultra Smooth at Walgreens. Nice, neat bag. Is it bag mine too?
Bag's yours.
Thank
All
you.
3 are yours.
Actually, the bag's good for you guys.
Oh, thanks.
I'll keep the actual gear right here. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
That's
Appreciate
Christian McCaffrey, America's sweetheart.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.